Being on vacation in Disney World? Magical, fun, heartwarming. Planning a vacation in Disney World? Not so magical, stressful, complicated, expensive. But what if I told you it doesn't have to be that way? It's still gonna be expensive, but I can help with the other things. When it comes to planning for Disney World, you have to think about a lot. Tickets, dining reservations, hotel reservations, lightning lanes, and more. I go to Disney World all the time for my job, and even I still get super overwhelmed when planning a Disney trip. So we're going to walk through the process of everything you need to know to make it easy peasy. Like butter. Like Dumbo flying when he has the feather in his hand. You're Dumbo, I'm gonna give you a feather. It can be a little difficult to know how to start the planning process. But the good news is, even though Disney World is constantly changing, the planning process has stayed relatively the same for the last few years. The first thing to do is to choose how much you're willing to spend for your trip. Get that budget in mind, baby. Do this before you do anything else, because Disney World can be very expensive, things can add up quickly, so having a target number that's your cap is a good idea. And it's a good idea to know a little bit of vocab so that Disney language doesn't start to sound like an entirely different language. The need to know vocab. Cast member is a Disney employee. My Disney Experience is the Disney World app that you can download for free to help manage your plans, make reservations, and make changes in the park, even mobile order. Very necessary. Lightning Lane Multipass is Disney's paid skip the line service that lets you access lightning lanes that skip the standby line. Lightning Lane Single Pass is a different version of the system that lets you access some of the most popular rides in Disney World that aren't included in Multipass. Lightning Lane Premier Pass is yet another version of this system that is extremely expensive, but lets you access lightning lanes without dealing with the timed reservation system you have to use with the other two. VQs or virtual queues. Currently, Disney doesn't have any virtual queues, but when they are in action, they are a special line that you have to join using the My Disney Experience app to be able to return to an attraction with a return time. Then, once you return, you can get in the physical line. Now, my guess is we won't be seeing a lot of this in 2026, but in 2027, they probably will be a thing, so it's important to know what they are. ADRs means advanced dining reservations, or reservations for dining that you make in advance. Pretty easy. Kind of like when you go on Open Table. Quick service is a walk-up food counter, so like a counter service restaurant. Table service is sit-down dining that oftentimes needs a reservation. And Magic Band is a special bracelet that helps you access different experiences around Disney World, both interactive fun ones and practical ones, like scanning your ticket or getting into your hotel room. These are not a mandatory purchase, and most of the time that I go to Disney World, I don't wear one, but if you want one, they are helpful to have. All right, remember we talked about budgeting? Let's get into the nitty-gritty. Budgeting can be very difficult once you've hit the ground in Disney World and you've just got a plastic card in your hand and everything seems fun. So the best idea is to start planning before you ever get to Florida. And this means you can pre-plan the spending of your trip and not have any nasty surprises or feel like you're overly limited once you're there. Now, unfortunately, I can't choose your budget for you, but I can give you some tips that will help you set it. One tip, do some park days and some pool days. Having some breaks from the park means you're not spending on that park ticket, and it will help with your energy levels. Park days are very tiring. Pool days help with that. If you've got a lot of days, skip adding Park Hopper. Park Hopper is an addition to a ticket that will let you hop between different parks in one day. If you have enough days in Disney World that you'll be hitting every single park, you don't necessarily need to pay for the add-on. Buy Disney gift cards slowly before your trip. Disney gift cards are a great way to monitor your budget and basically prepay for your trip over time. Plus, some stores like Sam's Club will even sell Disney gift cards at a discount, so you'll spend less money than the gift card will be worth. This is true at places like Sam's Club, Costco, and Target. Consider skipping the dining plan. The Disney dining plan is a plan where you can prepay for all of your dining and use credits to eat in the parks. It is difficult to make it worth the money. If you want to learn more, we do have a dining plan video on the channel right now from last year, and we'll have one coming soon for 2026. Speaking of eating, you can bring your own food and groceries. If you're driving, you can bring a grocery trip, and if you're staying in Disney World, you can always order groceries to your hotel. This is especially helpful for things like breakfast or late night meals when you're getting back from the parks. Use rope drop strategies so that you can skip Lightning Lane. With solid strategy, you really don't need to pay to skip the lines in Disney World. You'll be able to get through everything you want to do, even on the most crowded times of year. Luckily, we here at AllEars are here to help with that. Coming soon to the channel is a challenge where we do everything in all the parks without using Lightning Lane at all to show you exactly the kind of strategies we're talking about. But any video where we have the best day ever or just navigate a park will show you some of the best strategies, with and without Lightning Lane. A big one if you've got kiddos is buy your souvenirs ahead of time. Kids especially are prone to wanting some plush on the shelf. If you have something prepped that's a lot cheaper than the plush in the Disney store, then everyone's a little happier when your kid gets a plush that's maybe not exactly the one they want, but it's still pretty good, and you spent like 10, 15 fewer dollars on it. This is also true for things like ears. If you want to wear ears in the park, you can often find them for cheaper online in advance. Check out free activities around Disney World. We have a video on the channel right now about a lot of the free stuff that you can find in Disney World. Yes, it's expensive, but Disney still has a lot of freebies if you know where to look. And consider staying off property. Of course, there are pros and cons to everything, and Uber costs can be expensive, but if you're driving and you factor in parking, you might be able to find a cheaper rate by staying in a hotel that's off property. Some hotels in the area even offer transportation to and from the Disney parks. Just make sure you're always factoring in resort fees. Disney hotels don't have them, and a lot of the hotels nearby do. So that much cheaper rate might not be as cheap as it looks. Once you set your budget, that's when the real planning comes in. We've got to pick our dates. Now, Disney used to have slow times, and that, unfortunately, is more or less a thing of the past. The slowest time of year is probably September, and then you can find some slow days on days that the parks close early, because people don't want to go when the parks close early, but you might not want to go when the parks close early. Some other slow-ish times include January 2nd until just before President's Day, which is the third Monday in February, the week following Thanksgiving weekend until the week before Christmas, and Thanksgiving itself has been a little slower in the past few years. From the end of August until October tends to slow down thanks to schools starting back. And you don't have to go at a slow time to have a good time, especially because none of these dates that I've said are guaranteed. In the past, historically, they've been a little slower, but sometimes there are still surges of crowds at these times. And there's also more crowded times of year, like summertime, holidays, holiday weekends, things like that. But if you're looking at crowds, no worries. Just know what to expect. And make sure you're keeping an eye on limited time events that you might want to do or might want to avoid, like Epcot festivals, holiday parties, and more. I've always loved going at the end of January and early February, and I love the parks in September as well. The weather isn't too bad, except for if you get caught with a hurricane in September, and the crowds are typically pretty low. Now we've got budget and time frame in mind. Let's pick where we're staying. There are a shocking number of hotels to choose from in Disney World. Shocking. And your budget will definitely play a big role in this one, because every night that nightly rate happens. So if you're going for many nights, every night. You can pick between 3 hotel categories: value resorts, the cheapest; moderate resorts, in the middle; and deluxe resorts, the most expensive with the most amenities. Now, your budget is going to be your first informer here of which of these categories you want to look into, or whether you want to stay off-site, but there are some other factors to consider as well. When choosing a resort, you need to consider things like pools, how large the resort is, what kind of Disney transportation there is, and how long it takes to get to the parks, and what the rooms are like. So depending on what you personally value and what you need out of a room, and your budget, that's going to dictate what room you pick. If you do decide to stay at a not official Disney hotel, you might consider a good neighbor hotel. These are mostly located in the Disney Springs area and offer a selection of Disney perks. Those are a great option if you're balling on a budget. Personally, I do stay there sometimes. If you're torn or having trouble deciding where to stay, I have stayed at literally every single Disney World hotel, and you can see tours of every single one on the channel right now. We have both long videos that are very in-depth tours of each hotel and little 10-minute bite-sized videos that give you what you need to know. That way you can kind of cruise through many options and then deep dive on the ones you're really considering. Okay, so you've chosen your resort. Now, it's time to book. You can book your resort one of 2 ways. First, you can go to the Walt Disney World website and click Places to Stay. From there, you can enter the days you're checking in and out and tell Disney how many people are coming with you. You'll hit Find Resorts and Disney will show you availability. And yes, these resorts do book up, so make sure you're booking well in advance of your trip to make sure you get as many options as you want. If you book a little closer up, you might end up staying somewhere that you didn't want to. Once you're on this page, you can then choose your resort, decide if you want to do a Disney World ticket package, which we'll talk about in a second, don't worry. From there, you can select the package or room rate that you want, and boom, you're going to Disney World, baby. There's even little confetti when this happens. It's a very easy process once you get the hang of it, but if it sounds a little too complicated, don't worry. The other option is to call, and Disney will help you book your room and decide what's right for you. All you have to do is call the Disney Resort Reservations line at 407-939-1936. Okay, we're booked. We know where we're staying. We need our tickets. Buying tickets is maybe the easiest part of the process. Now, you do need to know there are multiple kinds of tickets. There are the 1 theme park per day tickets, and then there's the ticket versions that have the Park Hopper add-on that let you go to multiple parks in one day. There's also even a Park Hopper Plus ticket option, which lets you add the water parks and ESPN Sports. But pro tip, check and see if when you're coming that your Disney resort doesn't come with the perk of having water park access on the first day of your trip. Disney has had a deal going for a little while where on your check-in day or Disney hotel, you get access to a water park included. There's also annual passes if you're interested in that. These are very, very expensive, but if you're going a lot, it might be more economical to do an annual pass. They're really expensive though. I know, I have one. Then there's also some specially ticketed events, things like after-hour parties, and those are separate tickets that you'll see offered for certain dates. Now, you can buy your tickets in a package when you're selecting your room. When you're checking out, it'll offer you a Disney vacation package, and you can select the number of tickets you need and the number of days that you would like tickets for. Then you can just check out with the room and tickets all at once. If you decided to stay off property or just want to book your tickets separately for whatever reason, don't worry, we can also do that. You'll go to the Walt Disney World website and click Parks and Tickets. From there, scroll down to hit All Tickets and Admissions, and you'll find all of your ticket options. From there, same deal. Select the ticket you want and the number of days that you're headed to the park. You'll then see a calendar of when you can use the tickets. Select the dates you'd like, make sure you get the quantity of tickets correct, and bam, you're done. Going to Disney World. And the great news is, at this point, almost all tickets, pretty much besides annual passes, do not require a theme park reservation where you indicate what theme park you're headed to that day. If you do this process, you'll have what Disney calls a date-based ticket. And with those, no reservations needed. If you somehow end up with a non-date-based ticket or you have an annual pass, make sure you make your reservations with My Disney Experience. It will prompt you to, so don't worry. Okay, we know when we're staying, we know when we're going to the park, so now it's time to think about what we're going to eat. Yes, this far in advance. There are a lot of options. There are over 400 restaurants in Disney World, and a lot of them require advanced dining reservations or ADRs. You can book these up to 60 days in advance of your trip, and if you're staying at a Disney hotel, that's 60 days in advance of your check-in day instead of the day that you want the reservation. That window opens at 6 a.m., so be ready, because some of these reservations fill up fast. This is pretty much only for sit-down restaurants, but there are a few very popular new lounges that do require advanced dining reservations as well. These are Geo 82 in Epcot and Beacon Barrel in Magic Kingdom. To book, you'll head to the Disney website and select things to do. From there, you can select make reservations and how many people you have in your party. I recommend being on a bit before 6 so that you can start getting this process going. You then select your date and preferred time, and Disney will tell you what reservations are available across the entire resort. There's filters to make it a little easier. You'll select your time and restaurant, any dietary restrictions, and you'll be taken to a confirmation page. Luckily, since you're already logged into your My Disney Experience account, it will fill out the contact page for you. Be sure to have your credit card info ready or already loaded into your account so they can place a hold on the reservation. This will not charge you, but if you are a no-show, there can be cancellation fees. Of course, you can cancel as long as it's 2 hours prior to a reservation. There are a handful of restaurants that do require you to pay for your meal up front. Things like dinner shows, very specialty experiences, but it will make that clear. Once you hit confirm, you're golden. You can also do this in the My Disney Experience app if that's a little easier for you. With that, you're going to hit the plus sign at the bottom and hit check dining availability. And if you don't quite snag the reservations you're hoping for, don't give up hope. Keep checking back. I almost always am able to get last minute or a week or two out reservations, even for some of the most popular spots, just by being diligent and checking often. People are constantly canceling. Plans change. Also, you can always jump by a lounge for a little bit of a last-minute table service-like experience. And if you want an idea of some of the spots in Disney World, we have tons of restaurant reviews up on the channel right now that you can watch. Okay, we've selected the main aspects of our trip. It's time to prep from home as much as we can. This mainly consists of planning what you want to do once you get to Disney World and getting a little bit of your head wrapped around packing. After you decide how you're getting here, whether that's plane, boat, car, bathtub on wheels, roller skates, hang gliding, parachute, alien, spacecraft, whatever, you can plan for exactly what you want to pick. To make this a bit easier, we've compiled a list of the AllEars team favorites and from you at home for our recommendations of what to bring to Disney World. You can find it at this QR code or at the link in the description. My main suggestions are the comfiest shoes you can get your hands on and then wear them around your house to break them in. A rain jacket, of course, it will rain. A sweatshirt for if the temperatures get a little wonky or if you're cold in your hotel room. A portable phone charger and a water bottle. But you can go through the entire list and decide what's best for you. And while you're packing, we even have an AllEars YouTube video that you can pack with Fry, or you can just put on, whatever AllEars videos in the back to help, get some strategy in mind. I don't know, just an idea. Playing some AllEars videos. My favorite recommendation is for everyone in your party to pick 2 to 3 must-dos for each park. Once you get through those things, everything else will feel like a bonus, and you can make sure you're prioritizing those. So even if things go wonky, you can still aim to get through those must-dos and have everything else be a fun surprise. Even if you're here during a busy time and not using lightning lanes, usually 3 is something you can still guarantee. Might be some long lines, but if it's a must-do, it's a must-do. And then you can make a smaller list called bonuses if you have your secondary stuff. If you don't get it, it won't break your trip, but you want to know where you're heading, what's in your sights. This helps create realistic expectations and makes it so that things are just the cherry on top instead of trip-ruining disasters if you miss them. If you aren't quite sure to start, you can check out our Perfect Days series. Brand new ones are coming out to the channel very soon, and we have plenty from years gone by, where Perfect Days and Best Day Evers will show you exactly how to have perfect days and best days ever in each of the parks. And they will show you a lot of the different options that are available to you across Disney World. When we get close to the trip, there's a few things to do just a few days before. This is where lightning lanes come into play. If you want lightning lane, and if you're staying on property, you can book your lightning lanes 7 days in advance. You'll be able to book 3 of them. Now you can use more than 3, but you can only have 3 at a time. So you'll book your 3 in advance, and then once you start to use those, you can book more on the day that you're in the park. Lightning lane is a little bit confusing, but we have full guides on the channel as well as many experiments using lightning lane to show you the nitty-gritty of how they work. If you're staying on property, you can book these 7 days in advance of your check-in, and if you're staying off property, you can book them 3 days in advance of the day that you want to use them. Lightning Lane Multipass lets you book up to 3 lightning lanes at a time. You can use these for tons of attractions around Disney World, booking up to 3 at a time. You have an hour-long return window, and you pay 1 fee to use across all these attractions. Lightning Lane Single Pass is a la carte per attraction purchase for some of the most popular rides in Disney World. You'll also get to select an hour-long reservation window there. And then if you want, Lightning Lane Premier Pass gives you access to every lightning lane, including the single pass attractions, without having to use the reservation system. So you can just go whenever you want. Those are purchased per park, and you can only have them for 1 park each day. It can be a little difficult to choose when you should get Lightning Lane and when you shouldn't, but luckily we have a video breaking that down exactly as well. So you can check that video out and make sure that you know whether or not it's worth the splurge. And just like that, you're going to Disney World. Come join me. I'm there, you're there, we're there. Your countdown is on. You've done everything you could possibly do, and now it is time for the student to become the master. I can't wait to see you there. And if you're still here watching, go ahead and comment this secret code in the comments so we know you made it all the way. Plus, don't forget to subscribe. We upload tips, info, games, and more from Disney World and beyond all week, because we are serious about fun. I'll see you next time. Bye!